when you started your career, one piece of advice that you got from somebody at that point of time, which shaped up your career?
I think some of it, when I was very young, possibly there was some conditioning in my mind that, how things have to be, how I'm supposed to behave, or what is expected from me. Very early on in my life, I had come into contact with somebody who told me, look, it's all in your mind. You are creating these boundaries or walls in your mind. And just, you're the only one who can break out of it. So you chart your path. You decide what you want to do. You are better than the next person. As long as you believe in it, you believe in yourself, the world is your limit.
Anu, let me ask you the same question.
So, long ago I heard this from Uday actually. He said that perfect is the enemy of good. And it was a bit shocking when we first heard it because all of us are trained to believe that perfect is good. But I think over time I have realized, and I completely buy into this, sometimes obsessing over 100% perfection can really slow you down. And sometimes like good is great. And sometimes it is just about moving forward even if things are not 100% perfect. But you have to just keep moving forward.
Correct. So both of you are essentially saying you have a power of choice. I think it reminds me of Maria Sharapova once said, winners take chances. So don't get, boxed. Take chances. Hello everyone and welcome to Kotak Conversation. Today is a special episode because we are talking to you on 8th March and we are celebrating Women's Day at Kotak. Friends, these days, in last few years, the terms like feminism, gender diversity, women empowerment has become the part of the corporate lexicon, which is a good thing. But actually, when you look at the statistics, the corporate India has only 26% of the female participation. As you go higher up in the hierarchy, the that percentage still comes down to about 18%. Even our parliament has not more than 15% of female participation. Sometimes one feels if there is so much awareness, then why there is so much skew? The feminism is not about woman upliftment, I think. It is more about ability for women to express themselves without fearing any kind of judgment, without fearing any kind of notion or any kind of view. I think there is a saying that the girls with dreams transpire into women with vision. And it's my great pleasure to welcome two visionary leaders from Kotak. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anu, of course, heads our corporate bank business, and Sujata heads the debt capital markets and structured finance. Very happy Women's Day to you.
Thank
and
you.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Sachin.
Yeah, so let's start on a positive note. And this question is to both of you. What is that superpower that a woman leader brings to the office? Anu, maybe you can start.
Well, I would say that women are a bit like Swiss Army knives, like multifunctional, always prepared, adaptable. But but on a more serious note, I think women bring in a lot of loyalty, integrity, high levels of compliance, and most of all, an uncanny ability to multitask and very high levels of empathy.
Absolutely. Sujata?
Yeah, I think I would echo what Anu said. Just add that overall, I've seen that women are better team players. They have an ability to sense what's happening in a meeting, how to steer it, more compassionate, more mature usually. And as a result of that, because of their high empathy levels, they're able to run teams better.
Correct. Anu, a lot of young girls are watching this and they take inspiration from both of you. If I ask you what kind of advice you will give to your younger self 20 years back when probably you started the career?
My advice to all the young women coming into corporate world would be that be ambitious for yourself. Have faith in yourself. Little things like raise your hand at a meeting, raise your hand for the next big job. And like in this world which is full of infinite possibilities, the biggest tool we have is the power of choice. So we can choose to either be in our comfort zone or break the stereotype. So I would encourage everyone to just keep moving forward. Don't get limited by challenges. Just stay very positive.
Yeah, well said. Sujata, staying on the advice, when you started your career, one piece of advice that you got from somebody at that point of time, which shaped up your career?
I think some of it, when I was very young, possibly there was some conditioning in my mind that, how things have to be, how I'm supposed to behave, or what is expected from me. Very early on in my life, I had come into contact with somebody who told me, look, it's all in your mind. You are creating these boundaries or walls in your mind, and just you're the only one who can break out of it. So you chart your path. You decide what you want to do. You are better than the next person. As long as you believe in it, you believe in yourself, the world is your limit. So I think that, I realized that there were a lot of things that I was sort of conditioning myself, holding back, possibly thinking, okay, the other person is better to ask that question than me. But, that sort of set me free. I felt that I'm as good as the next guy and I should be heard. I should set my career the way I want it to be and be free from any conditioning or any expectations on the other side from you. That should not guide you.
Anu, let me ask you the same question. What good advice that you received in the early part of the career which helped you and shaped your career?
So, long ago, I heard this from Uday actually. He said that perfect is the enemy of good. And it was a bit shocking when we first heard it because all of us are trained to believe that perfect is good. But I think over time I have realized, and I completely buy into this, sometimes obsessing over 100% perfection can really slow you down. And sometimes, like, good is great. And sometimes it is just about moving forward, even if things are not 100% perfect. But you have to just keep moving forward.
Correct. So both of you are essentially saying you have a power of choice. I think it reminds me of Maria Sharapova once said, winners take chances. So don't get, boxed. Take chances. Sujata, let's talk about BFSI sector, the sector which has done so well in last many years now. So what are the opportunities for the women leaders in the BFSI sector according to you?
In the BFSI sector, we've had our own women leaders in Kotak. One is Shanti Kambaram. She's been an inspiration for all of us. She's our whole-time director, and throughout my career, I think all of us have been very, very influenced by Shanti. Her brand of leadership, her passion, and always leading from the front. And I would also like to mention Falguni Nair. She was a very senior leader in Kotak at a very, very early age. And she left to set up her own entrepreneur journey, and she's been highly successful at that. So Kotak has also had its share of women leaders in the BFSI sector. So I think BFSI is one sector where there's a lot of opportunities for women, and because banking, NBFCs, regulators, everywhere, those are the places where a skill set that a woman can really bring onto the table, like we were discussing early on, teamwork, being methodical, compassion, empathy, being perfectionists, having a higher level of integrity. All these skill sets really weave in a very, very good way to have leaders in this sector from which are women. So I feel very bullish that, with all the DEI initiatives that we are taking and with all the skill sets that women bring onto the table, I think we will see a lot more women leaders in the next few years.
Yeah, like India manufacturing is still a big boys club, but I think BFSI sector, like Sujata said, has said over years, even from the days of Lalita Gupte, has really broken the ceiling.
So I think that is a case study, it's a role model, If more and more firms invest in developing better leaders who are able to stand their ground not only in their own firm, but going ahead and outside leading another firm, I think that is really commendable.
Right. Sujata, if you are put in time machine and you have a choice of going back and kind of part of some significant movement where a woman leader has expressed herself, what it would be, and you want to be a part of all that, what it would be?
I think, when we were growing up, one event which really impressed me was the Nobel Prize won by Marie Curie. In early 1903. And I think what really, I was very impressed was that 100 years back, that time, having a woman who excelled in science, didn't let any impediments hold her back and went ahead to win the Nobel Prize. For generations of women after that in science, which was typically a male-dominated field, I think that was a game changer, and I would love to go back and, be part of that event.
Right. Anu, let's talk about if you can trade, one of the traits with a woman leader of any time, and for one day, what will be something that kind of inspires you?
So maybe I'll trade my financial knowledge with Madhuri's dance moves.
Okay, so all three of us represent the Kotak ecosystem and we have been long timers in Kotak. So tell me how the Kotak policies and general Kotak environment has helped your career.
So I've been with Kotak for 30 years, my entire life. And when I joined Kotak, I was a youngster. Then after that, I got married, I had kids, and I've literally grown up here. And one thing I've always felt, I've heard a lot of things from my other friends, etc. Never a single day have I ever felt that I'm a woman once I've come into office. So what all is expected of you is to excel in your work, be sincere, give it your 100%, and the firm is behind you. So even in the years when I was like, little vulnerable because I was expecting, I was like, you have a lot of health issues, etc. But I think the Kotak family stood up by us. Never once made me feel that it's just something out of the way that they're doing for me. But I was very, very clear that I have to give it my 100%. That the firm gave me their full support and I did my 100%. And I think our policies, earlier that time there were lesser of like formal policies. It was more, I would say, left to the immediate boss or your fellow friends, your peers who stood by you, made sure that what they would do for me, I would do for them when they were going through the same phase. I think Kotak has evolved a lot over the years. There are a lot more HR, a lot more policies, a lot more help being given to younger women because we are a very large firm now. But even back then, I would say that our policies were very, very favorable, very, very employee friendly. And I would be happy to say that both the years when I was expecting, I got the highest rating. So nobody discriminated against me, nobody differentiated. I was away for 3 months, but still I came back and got the highest rating. So I think Kotak has been for me it's been a blessing working here. And I think policies have evolved, but even throughout the year, the humane element has been very high.
Wonderful. But let's say there is always a scope of improvement. What more we need to do?
See, nowadays I think life has become even busier and even more, I think, stressful. So I would say if we have better crash facilities in the premises itself, you will see a lot of women coming back. So, I'll say when I was 25, 26, like all of my friends were working, all of my batchmates were working. But by the time we turned 28, 30, 35, so many people dropped out and very, very good professionals dropped out because there was nobody to help them take care of the kids at home and they could not juggle. So with this, so COVID taught us something which is like work from home and flexible working is possible. So if we have a little more accommodative policies which the young mothers can use, crash in office or a better work from home accommodative policies, I think you will see much lesser dropouts in the 28 to 40 zone where bulk of the women drop out because they are not able to cope up with both the responsibilities. So I think we can do a bit more on that. We really don't have, I've heard a lot of offices have set up one whole floor for a crash to take care of kids and their women are not leaving. So I think we should do something like that.
Yeah, good suggestion. Anu, the same question to you.
No, I think Sujata summarized very well. I would say to me, the only thing which is most important is have a leadership team which values merit over gender. So we as women, we don't want any special opportunities. In fact, that's a little bit degrading if we are treated different or specially different. What we want is just equal opportunities.
Yeah, well said. Now, let me ask a different question. Maybe, Anu, you can answer that. A specific event or a specific incidence where you felt empowered as a woman leader?
So, I've asked this question in the past as well, but I always say that it's about everyday wins. It's about those small things which make very big differences. It's about every day coming up, showing up, having a good day's work, and like I said, the small wins. And I think one small wins, a series of small wins is really seeing our young women leaders go into leadership roles. I think that's a very rewarding feeling.
Correct, I agree. Sujata, your main colleagues, yeah, how can they more, kind of better allies as regards the gender diversity or gender inclusion, equality? What they can do more to promote this?
I think DEI has become a very, very big thing now, and it's not only about equality, it's also about being supportive of each other. It can be male, female, it can be any other diversity. So I think people are becoming far more, conversant with that concept. But to my male colleagues, I would say that if they are more compassionate and like Anu said, that meritocracy above anything else. If you have a woman colleague, but there may be times when she may be going through some of the personal things that women have to go through, but be compassionate and be more I would say inclusive.
Fine. So let's go to the little lighter questions now. Okay, both of you have been hardcore professionals for a long time, but had it been not this, had it been not the banker, what alternative profession would you have taken? I think both of you should answer this. Sujata?
I thought I would become a doctor. My dad was a doctor and I used to really, really look up to him. And in my growing up years, I always thought I'll be a doctor. But life had other plans in store for me. I think I would have become a doctor if not a banker.
Yeah. Anu?
I think I would have liked to be a travel blogger. So you travel and you get paid for it, not a bad option. But knowing my, penchant for spreadsheets, I would making detailed sheets on my costs and then stressing over it. So, yeah.
Travel blogger, wonderful. Anu, let me ask this question to you. You throw parties, I have been to your home for parties. When you throw a party and you have the choice of inviting 3 women from any era, which are these 3 invitees will be and why?
Okay, so one, I would like to invite Kalpana Chawla. We all aim for the stars, and here's this woman who actually reached the stars. And second would be Rukma Bhai Raut. I don't know if you know about this lady Sachin. She was only the second medical practitioner from India during the British Raj. And she's the one who led the whole crusade against child marriage. She herself was married when she was 11 years old and never went to her husband's house and filed legal cases and made sure that her marriage was annulled. And yeah, she's the reason that we have this Age to Consent Act.
Okay. Sujata, any on your list?
Yeah, I would call Indira Gandhi. My growing up years, I've always been very, she was one leader who was out there, and we didn't have so much of social media or internet that time. So we were sort of restricted more within our own country. And I think she used to stand out as one woman leader in this huge male-dominated thing. So I was always very impressed by her when I was growing up. That would be one. One would be Enid Blyton, because again, she shaped a lot of my growing up years. I've loved her books, and I think being in a small town with no television when we were growing up, I think books were my mainstay. So those long summer holidays, I think I used to just immerse myself in her books. So I would love to call her. And third would be maybe Mother Teresa, because that's another person where, I've always admired the way she has given her life towards, humanity. So these 3.
Right. Nice choices. Sujata, let me come to you on this one. Women's Day, today we are celebrating Women's Day. Give a couple of songs that you will play on Women's Day, your playlist.
I would play Roar, Katy Perry, and it's all about empowerment. I would also play Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler. That's also about, looking out for each other and being there for each other.
Okay, Anu, your favorite song?
Maybe Aajkal Paanv Zameen Par Nahi Padte Mere. Yeah.
Nice. So we are coming towards the end of the conversation. We'll not end without some fun. So let's have a rapid fire. I'll go one by one. Pick up your choice. Let me start with Anu. And you have to be quick in this one. So, Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk?
Jeff Bezos. He's given us Amazon, it's a big thing.
Sujata, Coldplay or Bryan Adams?
Bryan Adams.
Yeah?
Can I say Rafi?
Yeah. Muhammad Rafi? Yeah, it's coming to you. If you are a Rafi fan, then let me put you on the spot. Muhammad Rafi or Arijit Singh?
Rafi.
Yeah. To you, let's say. You are from cricket or football?
Cricket.
Yeah, strange. Really? Okay, let's go a little back. Meryl Streep or Kate Winslet?
Oh, Meryl Streep for me. That her, yeah.
Mamma Mia. Kate Winslet for me.
Yeah, but Meryl Streep, Mamma Mia for me, yeah.
Okay, let's say Swiggy or Zomato?
Swiggy.
Swiggy?
Yeah, me too, Swiggy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And let's say, last one, Snickers or Stiltos?
Stilettos for me with my height.
Sneakers.
Sneakers, okay. All right then. So that takes us to the end of this conversation. It's really, really fun talking and it's really inspiring. Thank you so much. Both of you, thanks so much.
Great fun, Sachin.
Great
Thank
fun
you so much.
being here. Thank you.
Friends, finally, it's all about realizing your own potential. I want to end with a Hindi verse. स्त्री तुम में शक्ति भी है, शांति भी. स्त्री तुम में शौर्य भी है, क्षमा भी. और स्त्री तुम में महत्वाकांक्षा भी है और धैर्य भी. So all the girls watching this, a very happy Women's Day to you. May your tribe grow. May you realize your potential. May you cross all the barriers. And may you feel great about the power within yourself. All the best. Thank you so much and thank you for watching.